Buzz is all about people's passion. Where's your passion from acting come from? Is it naturally from as a kid, or was it by a certain performance?
I mean, first of all, I'm just incredibly grateful to be able to be doing what I'm doing. But to be passionate about interpreting another character and to bring that character to life among a lot of legendary voice actors is like, I mean, that's what's not to be passionate about.
Very cool. Let's talk about your role. Monkey's talk about the story and the film.
Well, I play Shredder. Shredder is a very, very mean dude. He's evil in a different way, though. He's not quite like the Joker, and he's not like Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. So he's very self-motivated. He's in it for himself, only for himself. So he's a pretty tough guy to deal with.
Very cool. Any upcoming projects besides this one you want to talk about?
I am under the rule of the non-disclosure, so I can't share with you. I wish I could. But there are a couple of things coming up. One this summer, one hopefully by Christmas that should be out. So.
Cool. Look forward to that, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
man. We're all about people's passion. Where's your passion for filmmaking come from? Was there a performance inspired it, or was it naturally for you as a kid?
I've just always naturally been drawing ever since I was a kid. Been into comic books, Batman. I grew up with '89 Batman. The Keaton verse, what really brought Batman to life. I'm a huge fan of excuse me. I'm a huge fan of the Adam West Batman. I like all incarnations of Batman. I feel like he's been around since '39, so it's like, why just limit yourself to one? He can be a loner, or he could be like Batman from The Outsiders, or even team up with four crazy talking turtles. So I think just comic books and just love of drawing and animation kind of has always been there since a kid, and I just haven't lost it yet.
Cool. Let's talk about the story.
Sure.
What can you say about it?
Well, I'm not sure what I could say about it until it comes out, but what I will say is the movie's just pure fun. If you're a fan of Turtles, if you're a fan of Batman, if you're a fan of both, or if you're a fan of only one, I highly recommend the movie. We put a lot of heart and soul into it.
Besides Batman and Turtles?
Oh man, well, we got the four brothers, Leo, Mikey, Raph, and Donnie. We got Robin, we got Batman. There may or may not be some Arkham villain cameos. There is. Tease, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. A certain clown prince of crime may show up. I can't confirm or deny, but he's in there. We got a lot of good villains and good. I think there's a few cameos that you guys will like that I can't give away here just yet.
Yeah, cool. And besides this, any upcoming projects you want to talk about or anything?
Right now, I'm currently directing on the new Ninja Turtles, Rise of the Ninja Turtles series, and that's a blast. That's on Nickelodeon currently right now. And I'm getting to draw turtles for a living. I can't complain.
Awesome, man. Do you have any pet turtles of your own?
No, not yet. Soon.
I have a turtle pond in the backyard.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
So here at Bionic Buzz, we're all about people's passion. Where did your passion for filmmaking kind of come from and inspired you to get into the industry? Was there a movie performance, or was it just naturally for you as a kid?
For me, I just grew up watching cartoons back when you could only watch them on Saturday mornings. I grew up on a lot of Looney Tunes cartoons. So that was sort of the beginning of my passion for animation. It took me a while to realize people could actually do that for a job, but once I figured that out, it was great.
Very cool. Cool. Talk about the process of putting Batman vs. the Turtles together with this all-star cast.
Okay. So at the beginning, when we were told the Batman and the Turtles we were going to do a crossover, what we did was I did like a Venn diagram that showed the areas where they crossed over. So we had martial arts, masks, big cities, and family. And so those are the elements that we focused on during the course of the story.
Very cool. Awesome. Besides this, do you have any upcoming projects you want to talk about or plug or anything?
Sure. Right now I'm working on DC Superhero Girls, which is just hitting Cartoon Network as we speak. So that's a great show, and I hope everybody gives that a chance.
I've been going down the line saying I probably played Batman versus TMNT with the toys already as a child, but to see it come into fruition like this, it's incredible.
Very cool. What can you tell about Leo in this movie? Like, what's his mindset like?
Well, he is back to being the leader. He is serious. He wants to figure out who this Batman is. He's the real leader in Blue. I don't know who this guy is in Blue. But they learn how to coexist, and they learn that they have a common enemy. And if anything, it's all about team building and teamwork.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to it. Well,
Yeah.
Anything else coming up really want to talk about? I know you do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, well, on the Warner Brothers side,
I'm the current voice of Bugs Bunny.
and on the Nickelodeon side, I am the current voice of Master Splinter. Yes. So yeah, I mean, playing on both sides of the fences is really awesome.
Awesome, man. And I overheard you were trying to get Space Jam, man. You gotta get in, dude. Run.
Well, everyone knows about Bugs, but no one knows that I'm also Daffy Duck. Woohoo!
I have two answers. So I'm a writer now, mostly TV writer, but I was initially a film major, and what got me into film in general was definitely my grandfather showing me the 1930s King Kong when I was a little kid. I think it's because it's a movie about someone making a movie, and also because the special effects in the movie are very apparent. Like, you can tell that it's a puppet being moved around, so it just gets you thinking about movie making in a way that other movies don't. And so that is definitely what got me into movies in general. But then I wound up gravitating more towards comedy writing and being more of a comedian, and that is because of a desperate want of attention and approval.
Very cool. Well, I assume there's a lot of comedy aspects here in Batman.
Yes.
Especially in the Ninja Turtles, probably,
Yeah, well, and also...
Makes up, Batman being such a serious guy.
Yes. But the secret is, when you put a serious character like Batman in a movie with the Ninja Turtles, that makes him the straight man. And in my opinion, the straight man is usually the funniest one. Because the funniest thing is to have someone do something ridiculous and then cut to someone who is not amused.
Yeah, that's true.
So Batman is definitely funny in this movie, but it's because he does not like funny things.
Talk about the writing process, because you're taking these iconic characters, been so many different versions of them over the years.
Yeah, so the biggest sort of decision that you make as a writer in this kind of project is that there's been a lot of versions of these characters. So there's been funny versions of the Ninja Turtles and like dark, serious versions of the Ninja Turtles, and there's been funny versions of Batman and dark, serious versions of Batman. So you want to find a mix where they're different enough that there's a contrast. Like, it's not fun if they're exactly the same. So you want the Turtles to be a little goofier than Batman, but you want them to be serious enough that they make sense in his world, and you want Batman to be goofy enough that he can learn to like them, because it also wouldn't be fun if he was just like, get out of my city, you green weirdos, and that was the end of the movie, roll credits. That would not be a good movie. It might be realistic, it's probably what Batman might do, but we can't do that. So it's finding that mix where there's a contrast, but they are plausible as existing in the same world.
Besides this, anything upcoming projects you want to talk about or plug?
Yeah, I'm also the head writer of Thundercats Roar, which should be coming out later this year. So if you like sillier reimaginings of serious characters, we've got more of that coming for you.
I have always been a comic book fan and a comic book collector. I've been collecting DC Comics and all sorts of other comics since when I was going to elementary school. My mom would bring it home in a brown paper bag, and I'd be looking at all the best comics and following the stories of Superman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, and loving it. And I think those things influenced me, and that's how I became an actor, because I just love telling stories and reading stories.
Cool. Let's talk about your role in Batman vs. Ninja Turtles. Your friends who actually know about the Turtles at the beginning? We got to kind of find out.
I think that Ra's al Ghul is just once again on a path to try and do what he has been destined to do. He is determined to bring Gotham to its knees, and the Turtles happen to be there, and he needs to team up with somebody who knows the Turtles in order for him to accomplish his goal. And unfortunately, that means he's got to work with Shredder. So we'll see how this incredibly sophisticated, intelligent, and centuries-old assassin deals with this crazy personality of Shredder.
Speaking of assassins, you play more assassin roles coming up?
I play a lot of assassins. It's just kind of come to my attention. Like, played Altair in Assassin's Creed, and I'm playing Ra's al Ghul, and then I was looking forward to playing some other assassins in different comic book series if I can. So,
is there any other roles or anything allowed to talk about? Any current projects?
Well, I'm waiting for season 4 of The Expanse to come out, where I play Alex Kamal. That's coming out at the end of 2019 on Amazon. And I just shot a 6-episode series of Cardinal, a detective series on Hulu, and there's a bunch of feature films that are going to be coming out. One's called The Lie, and one's called The Operative, with Diane Kruger and Martin Freeman for for those Sherlock fans and The Hobbit.
Passion for acting, voice acting.
Oh, sweet.
You know, was it inspired by certain roles as a kid, or is this naturally for you?
Yeah, I would say like ultimately my passion about being in the entertainment industry is making people laugh. Ultimately, I got in because of comedy. I've worked with some incredible comedy directors, worked with the Farrelly brothers and Christopher Guest, and just worked with a bunch of really funny people over the years. And I always say I'm happiest when I'm on a set with my friends and I'm making people laugh.
Very cool. Let's talk about the movie. What's Robin's kind of mindset in the movie?
Yeah, so I'm playing the Damian Wayne version of Robin, who is the 10-year-old sort of vigilante, prepubescent son of Batman. And I think you see two sides of Robin in this film. You see he's certainly kind of a snarky badass, and he definitely has fighting skills. You see him wanting to be as awesome as Batman, but you also see some vulnerability, and you see him not quite there yet. And I think the movie's interesting too, because you're obviously taking all of these iconic characters and smashing them together in one crazy crossover event. And so Robin, I think, is that character that bridges that gap between the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who are funny, and the sort of more serious, brooding side of the Batman world. Because my character, I think, is certainly funny in the film, but also has that kind of badass side. And so I think that duality helps kind of bridge these two worlds together.
Awesome. Lastly, is there any upcoming projects you'll have to talk about or blog?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm working on I do hip-hop comedy music videos. I did one called Back to the 90s a few years ago that got like 100 million views. So we're doing a sequel to it. It's called Back to the 80s. It's coming out soon. And we have like 75 different sets and iconic setups from the 80s. It's going to be crazy.
Oh my God.
You've done so many for so many years.
Yeah.
Where did you start as a kid?
I started as a kid as a fan. Like, all I wanted to do, my video games and my graphic novels and my cartoons were my escape. So for me to be able to now turn that into a job, that's the goal. That's the goal as a nerd, is to try to find a way to monetize your passions.
Very cool. All right, talk about it. You're voicing Batman and the Joker.
Yeah.
Did you go into 2 different recording sessions? Kind of do one back to back?
We try to, I like to work as like, here's how the story lays out. So my job is to adapt. And so people will kind of see in the movie how that lays out. But I'm always up for a challenge. So if they want to, whatever they wanted to throw at me in those sessions, I was down for. I was just happy to be there.
Cool. All right, let's talk about some old stuff from you. My favorite is definitely, I don't know if I should say it, because Marvel. Marvel Superhero Squad, Avengers, Earth Mightiest Heroes.
Sweet.
Those were so good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I'm so upset we never got a 3rd season of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but whatever. You got to go on the new Avengers one.
Yeah, no one's more upset than I am, for sure.
So cool. Besides this, what else? Everything else coming up? You want to talk about?
There's always something that I'm under NDA about. I'm excited for everyone to see this. I'm excited for it to come out. I think it's May 14th?
Digital,
on digital, 6/4, June 4. I just read letters and numbers. June 4th is what 6/4 stands for, on Blu-ray. And everyone should go watch me and Nolan play video games on Retro Replay on YouTube.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thanks, bud.